Merge cells in Excel. Why are they such a nightmare? Maybe if you suggested and said, you know what, I've merged cells in my Excel spreadsheet. Is that good or a bad thing? Anybody who's worth their salt in Excel will have their head in their hands and say, oh my goodness, it's a bad thing. It wrecks your data. But why? Why is it such a bad thing? Why is it dangerous to your data? Now, last time we looked at removing blank rows the correct way. This time we're going to have a look at merge cells. And I've got a real meaty document for you here. And you can download the document from the link down below from the computer tutoring website. In this Power Query tutorial, we will be looking at answering 3 questions about merged cells. Question number 1 is, why would you merge cells? So we'll have a look at an example of that. Question number 2, what problems do they create? And thirdly, how can we use Power Query to tackle the problem of merged cells? You with me? Well, let's get cracking.
Okay, so here we have an example as to why people merge cells. Now, I've got some data just here, and it's sales data. But the first little section is the North team, the second is the South, the third is the East, and the last is the West. Okay, so let us see if we can sort that out and say, for instance, here, and so people do stuff like that. They go to Merge and Center. Sorry for all of you Excel lovers out there who are absolutely turning or cringing at just me doing this. Once just hear these cells because I want to put totals into these cells here, alt and equals. Just a nice way of putting totals in all of those straight away. I'm sorry if you've done that, if I've done that and you think that's absolutely amazing. Please avoid all of that because there's a better way of doing it. And then they'll do stuff like of blue color. And I think you get the idea. This is the chief reason and that people change or merge cells. It's aesthetics, just making something look aesthetically pleasing like that. But the problem is what this does to your data.
Okay, so why are merged cells like nuclear radiation to your data? Let's have a look.
All right, so we've got our merge data there, and on the surface, it looks quite respectable, well presented. But the problem happens when people come and ask you, well, let's say, for instance, we want to know how much money we made by product name and put this into a pivot table. Or let's say, for instance, we want to know how much each area made, like the North area or the South area. Or somebody asks, can we create a chart out of this data? Well, let's have a look and see what problems we have. So firstly, people will have, and normally this is totals here. So what they would do is Maybelline, they would type in total in here, control enter, and that puts it in everyone and put a total just to the right, click on the bold button. Yeah, there we go. So let's say, for instance, we want to know how much each area made. Now, it's true that we've got this just here, like so at the bottom, but let's say, for instance, quantity sold, and you want to quickly do that. So what I'm going to do is if I highlight all of the data, as you would, or Control A to select all of the data, I'm going to go up to the top here, and then I've got Insert, and I'm going to go to the left and Pivot Table. Where is it? We have it. Now, in this here, let me just zoom back a tiny bit, okay? And let's just put it by my face, okay? So you can see here, is that the right side? Yeah, so you can see here that, okay, it's selecting all of the data. If I click on OK, here's my pivot table on the left-hand side. Ooh, it changed the color to pink. Red's a bit like your teacher's sort of marking your work wrong. And there's a pivot table field on the right-hand side. So if I now look for area, I haven't even got area. I can't even analyze it. Say, for instance, product names. If I drag product name into rows and total sales into values, you see that I get the blank here at the bottom. Okay, so that means that blank row, those merged cells, are basically included in the total of our sum of total sales there. So what do I do? Some people might say, well, you know, can't you filter that data out? But you want to, every time you refresh the pivot table or add new items, then you have to go back to the pivot table and then redo the filters. It's just a nightmare, yeah? So no, not a good way of doing it. But what about charts? Let's get rid of this. In fact, what I'm going to do here is do a big fat, don't do it that way. Okay. Right, let's get rid of sheet 4 and let's have a look at a problem with a chart. Say somebody says to you, okay, I've got this data here. Can you create a chart maybe for the entire product's name, so we know how much we've made per product. So you think, okay, that sounds good. So what I'm going to do is I'll select the C column like so. That's good. And look, oh my goodness, I can't even select the C column. You can see as I click and hold my mouse button on C1, as I go past the merge cells on row 8, that the entire row there is selected. So it makes it difficult in creating a chart. And if you don't believe at all, say some of you are saying, well, you know what, can't you select all of the data and create a chart? Let's do that. So we've selected all the data, and we're going to go to Insert at the top and go all the way across and go to, where is it now? Charts. I'm going to do a line chart and go down to a column chart and do 2D column. And if I go across here, it's not looking that good, is it? So obviously, these merge cells are having a major impact on our ability to analyze this data. So what do you do?
Okay, now you've come to the time that you've all been waiting for. How do you use Power Query to tackle the problem of merged cells in Microsoft Excel? So let's get cracking. Let's check out how we do this.
So first of all, we need to get rid of this disgusting chart because it's not doing anybody any favors here. And we've got our data just here. Now, so we can go back on the exercise file that I've provided, I have given you an original sheet and I've got a muckabout sheet as well. So you'll be able to muck about with this. And that's good. So what do I do? So the first thing I need to do is select all the data. So I'm going to do Control A to select all of the data. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the Data tab at the top, just here, and then click on From Table Range. Now, if you're using a previous version of Excel, and by that I mean Excel 2016 or 2019, or anything that's not Excel 365, you might need to rummage around for that, but it will be there, okay? So trust me, it will be there. All right, so I click on From Table Range, and then it's going to take the table data and it's going to bring it in to Power Query. So if I click on OK, wait for a year and a day, and now I can see the Power Query editor. So I have a few things that I need to do. So if you have a look here, you can see I've got north, south, east, and west. You can see I've got totals just across here, like so. And I've got the dates and the data that I've brought in. Now, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see applied steps. Now, on the right, you can see you've got source, and that's where the data comes from. And then change types is changing the type of data that's brought into Power Query. So you just thought when you were typing in data that it was just, okay, it's just a number or whatever. Well, there's specific data types. And if you can look at the top, you can see total sales at the moment is a whole number. So is price per unit and quantity sold. Product name is text. Date is, this is going to be wrong, it's ABC. And north is, well, it's just text. So how do I go about handling this? So the first thing that I need to do is I need to get rid of any null values, okay, which are on columns that or on rows that I don't want. So if you just look very closely here, you can see I've got a null here, and I've got a null here, and I've got a null here. Now here you've got to be very specific about what you want to get rid of. So I'm going to decide, because somebody has typed total in the date column, I can filter out that total so it doesn't appear, and that will get rid of the entire row. Now you may have just null values across the row. So if you've got null values across the row, you can have a look at a previous Power Query tutorial on how to remove, or the proper way of removing blank rows. You'll go to remove rows and remove blank rows just here. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the date column, click on this drop-down list, and then find the word total and untick that so that it filters that word out. It also gets rid of the entire row. Brilliant. So next thing I need to do is I need to make sure that north is repeated every time there is a null. So I can't just have north, null, 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 because when Excel comes to analyze the data in a pivot table, it's going to see, let's for instance, the second row just here, it's just going to see team null on this date sold a neural implant. So the way I do that is by clicking on the column 1 just here at the top, and then going to transform, that's a tab at the top of the screen, and then by going to the fill drop-down list and clicking down. Now, when you look closely, you can see north, 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 then goes on to south, south, south. So now I've got a value for each row. This is important for the data to be analyzed correctly in Power Query. Next, I need to make sure my data types are correct, and I might change maybe two of the column headers' names. So the first thing I'm going to look at is this column 1. It's text. That's great. But I'm just going to double click on that and call this one, let's say team. We've got North team, South team. Excellent. Next, this is coming up as a date, but the data type, if you look closely, says ABC123. Now, if I click on that, that's a mixed data type. So it's mixed between numbers, or a whole number, and text. And I want it to be a date. So I'm going to choose date. Now, if there are any cells in this column that are not a date, say there's another total or another blank or whatever in there, you will have some problems. It will come up with a little red bar. But I can see there are no problems whatsoever. It's a date. Fantastic. Next, product name is text. That's good. I can have a look and see, is that text? Yes, it is. Quantity sold. That's great. I can click on the drop-down list and do whole number there. That's brilliant. And then price per unit. That is going to be a currency. So I'll change that to currency. And total sales, I am going to change to... what shall I change this to? Currency as well. Great, excellent. So these ones are currency. Basically, they format as 2 decimal places. Now, if you want to do some housekeeping in Power Query, if I draw your attention to the right-hand side of the screen, okay, I'm changing type twice here. You can see one here. I've got change type. That's change type 1. And I've got a change type just above it. So that change type just above it, if I click on this change type and have a look, what's happening here is actually changing the types already of these column headers. And I'm doing it twice, which is wasting time and memory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and just hope that there's no errors happen. I'm just going to go to delete here and put my neck on the block. And if I go down here, and I'm just going to see if all of these types are the same. And yes, they are. Excellent. I'm just going to confirm team as text again. There we go. Excellent. So text, date, product name, quantity sold, and those 2 are currency. That's great. Now, if you want to be extremely efficient and organized, you can rename the applied steps. So if I go up here and if I right click and go down to rename, I can say change the data types. So anytime I want to change the data types, I really want to go to this step and do that. Okay. If I got renamed columns, I can, if I want to be very specific, I can right click and say, rename column 1 to teams. And I can go back through that. While I'm talking about renaming, if you look on the left-hand side of the screen under the query section, you can see the name of the table that Power Query automatically created is called Table 1. So I need to change that. So if I go up to Table 1 here, I'm going to right-click on that and go to Rename, and I'm going to call this one Sales Data. Now, incidentally, if you want to, you can also use this section on the right-hand side under the properties, under name, to rename that sales data. So that's looking really good. So now you have a choice. How are you going to take this clean data and import it or bring it back into Microsoft Excel? So bring it from Power Query into Excel. Now, to do that, if you go up to Home, which is a tab at the top just here, and we're going to click on Close and Load. Now, if you just want to close and load it straight to a table or the data has already been loaded, you can go close and load. But we're going to go to close and load to. So if this is grayed out, the close and load to, it means you've already gone through the data. You've already loaded it into Excel. Notice that the table has been created here. So now I have a choice. I can either import it directly into a table, ready to be analyzed, or I can go straight into a pivot table or pivot chart report. So because we just want to do this as efficiently as possible, I'm going to choose Pivot Table Reports. It's going to go onto a new worksheet. I'll click on OK, and now the data is ready to be analyzed. So say, for instance, now somebody asks me, how much money did each team, or the quantity of sales for each team, because we had the total amount beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I will go to drag the team down to rows, like so. There's a list of my teams. And if I want quantity sold, I'll drag that to values, and that comes up there. Brilliant. Let's say, for instance, I want to do another pivot table. I'm just going to highlight that and copy and paste. Okay, so I've got another pivot table here. And let's say, for instance, we wanted to do that product name. So if I got rid of product sold and then quantity sold and dragged product name, or I should have got rid of team rather, and then dragged quantity sold. Now I've got a list of products. Notice if I look closely here, no blanks. There's no blanks. It's fantastic. And last but not least, if I want to do a chart about this or a chart on this, I can click on the pivot table here, go to insert and across to pivot chart, and then choose my clustered column here. And my clustered column chart looks, well, it looks a lot better than it did.
Okay, so hopefully this tutorial has gone some way in helping you understand, 1, why people merge cells in Excel, 2, why it's so bad for analyzing your data, but most importantly, 3, how you can use Power Query to tackle that challenge and solve the problem of merge cells. Now, if you've got anything out of this tutorial, then please hit on that like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button. As mentioned before, this is going to be the second in a series of 10 tutorials on Power Query aimed for beginners, for the person who thought Power Query is beyond them or just wanting to see what Power Query is about. Now, we offer training courses. If you want us to come and help you out in your organization, then we give you training on how to use all of these apps, Excel, Office 365, Microsoft Forms, Power Automate, Power Apps, etc., so that you can get the best out of the software you already own. So next time in Power Query, we're going to have a look at the issue of pivoted data. So what is pivoted data and how do you use Power Query to handle that problem? Tell you what, why not click on the notifications bell so you don't miss that one? This is Simon at Computer Tutoring, signing off.